Hello there, Pisces, and welcome to your monthly forecast. This is for the month of November, and I would like to start off by saying a heartfelt thank you. As you know, last month I had an injury. I was recovering from a few fractured bones, and it really took some time to just take care of myself and heal. And that's the reason these monthly videos are a little bit behind. I usually try to get it out around the 1st or 2nd. So thank you so much for your patience and understanding as I go through that. I will be trying to get December out extra early just to say thank you. So again, I appreciate it. While we're talking about support, I also want to say thank you to everybody that has been joining the community on Patreon that donate $1 per month to help make content like this possible. If you like what you see here and you've been watching for a while, or even if this is your first time and you really feel that this is something that you can get value from, consider doing that sort of a donation. It goes directly into buying supplies, and like you, I have to work every day. So when I do these videos, I usually take off several days, even up to a week. So your donations help to offset those production costs. It's completely optional. Another way you can support me is simply by liking and subscribing to this channel and this video as well. So now let's look at what's coming through for your sign. I like to start off with channeled information. And the way I arrive at this is pretty straightforward. I select a deck of cards, I meditate, and then I engage in some automatic writing to see what comes through. As I was doing that, I got this image of two lines coming to a point. And what I wrote as I looked at this was, push forward and don't let anything distract you. You really want to operate with like a razor focus. And this is tuning out all of the peripheral noises and distractions. This is making some smart decisions on how you're going to focus your energy and efforts this month. That's a universal note that I've been giving to signs, but it's especially true for you, Pisces. The more that you can stay centered and on task, the better everything is going to kind of shake down for you. We'll go ahead now and take a look at a Celtic Cross, which is going to give us some additional insights into all aspects of your month. And then I'll expand it and look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. Just a quick note as I turn the camera down here. I want to let you know that I'll be quiet at this point, and then I'll rejoin you after I set up the Celtic Cross. In addition to the regular Celtic Cross, I add one more card. For me, this is a connective thread between everything that you see. I call it a catalyst, and just like a catalyst, it also helps you activate the positive energy of this month, really how to kick things off. So we have flower here. And the interesting thing with this one is there's a subtitle here, or a caption to this, which is fickle. So I was mentioning earlier about being very selective in what you want to do. I also want you to sort of look at your all of the things around you and see if there's anything that you've been putting your energy into where it's not coming back, or if you feel like someone in your life is being sort of fickle or not coming through for you. This is a chance for you to cut that out so that you can put the focus instead in your own personal growth. And not sort of getting pulled into people that really don't have your best interest at heart or aren't feeding your energy as well. Your central message this month is to be clear in your delivery. We have a Page of Swords card. Pages are all about the delivery and receipt of messages. The reversal of this is about direct communication, but there's always a warning sign here that the way in which you do this could be troublesome if you're not careful. What I'm seeing here is having a close friend, a close colleague take a look at that. Also being careful with your love relationships, whether it's a friendship or a romantic relationship, making sure that you're not saying something to hurt the people that are there to help you out. Sometimes we don't do that on purpose, but the closest person sort of, we just feel like we need to vent with. I want you to be very cognizant of their role in your life, and if they haven't done anything wrong, pull yourself back and just say, I need some time to decompress. I've had a long day. Looking at the whole sort of arc of your money and abundance this month, what I'm looking at right now is a need to make sure that if you're putting a lot of overtime in, that you have this ability to also have work-life balance. Because the other thing that I'm seeing here with Page of Swords, it can also indicate your energy, your vitality, and then the Two of Cups showing relationships. Some of you may not be making time for intimacy, for just spending time with the people that you love, because you're tired, and when you do, you're not really showing up. For those of you that have a sort of flexible work situation, or you feel that you can push back a little bit with your employer, I think it's important just to talk about limits, especially when it comes to health. You can just say, I'm really feeling run down. I need to leave on time this week. I'm happy to work off site a little bit or come in early the next day, but I need to get some sleep. I'm feeling tired. If you have a reasonable boss, they'll be okay with that. If you don't, this might be a bigger check for you to think, why am I working for someone who doesn't understand work-life balance? There are people out there that won't. There are certain industries where you can't. And this is just, again, a chance for you to decide, is it worth the sacrifices that you might be making? I think your money situation looks solid. I just think that there's a lot of demands on you this month. So take care of yourself and realize sometimes you may make a decent amount of money, but if you're getting sick and going to the doctor, or just not able to enjoy what you're doing, is it really balancing out? And that's the question that I'll pose back to you. I'm not seeing a lot of additional money coming through, so one last note is across the board, I've been telling most signs this month to be conservative. You're no exception to that. When we're looking at what's affecting you towards what already happened at the end of October and now what I'm seeing in November, we have a Justice card in reverse. I think this has popped up for about 3 or 4 different signs. A lot of you are getting to this point where it's a month of sort of like cord cutting, deciding to walk away, making some big decisions. And if you've been waiting to hear back from someone, it could be a legal case, it could be, are you accepted into a certain school or organization? You should get the decision this month. With that being said, some of you may have second thoughts, or the decision may be in someone else's favor or not for you. Because typically justice is about wanting to step away, about not having things feel like everything is even. And so if that's the case, you can decide if you want to fight for something more, if you want to walk away. But I see a sort of end of something that has been a struggle for you, or a choice that you might want to make this month to decide, I no longer need this in my life. And sometimes even if the answer is yes, you look at something and think, you know what, I don't think I need this anymore. I thought I wanted it, but I'm ready for something else. Either way, it feels like there's a sense of relief because you're finally at a point where you understand what's next. You're busy this month. I will say, no matter what happens with that Justice card, with the Eight of Wands, there's a lot of other opportunities and a lot of other activities that are vying for your attention. So this is fortuitous, and the decision this month is, how much do you want to take on? When I'm looking at what's awaiting you, it looks like there's a lot of great social interactions this month. The Ten of Cups, really great for friends, family, and love. So if you are looking to sort of spend a little less time with work and you decide to balance things out, my goodness, everyone is going to be so happy with that choice that you've made. For those of you that aren't experiencing any lack of balance in your life, this can indicate new friendships, new family, or an extended sort of relative coming into the picture. It looks like things are going to be improving with respect to your relationships. Checking in with your ego this month, we have Queen of Swords in reverse. This can have to do with self-critical thought. That's the first thing that came to mind. I want you to sort of pay attention to how you feel about what's going on. Again, some of you may have received some news that you didn't like. I see that around the beginning of the month, or that it didn't come through the way that you expected. I want you to try to see this as not being a bad thing, as being a stepping stone, or being something that's going to lead you to something better than you anticipated. Because when we look at the environment, there's a lot of positive energy that's coming through this month. We have the Magician card, which is showing that you have this magnetic quality over the course of November. You can pull in things that you want. People find you appealing. And for many of you, this might be a month to reveal a hidden skill or a side of yourself that people didn't know that you had. So I would rather you focus on trying to cultivate that than trying to figure out why something didn't end up the way you wanted it to be. Again, with another Swords card, we got 3 of the same suit. So we have a Page at the center, a Queen in your soul or ego space, and then in Hopes, Fears, and Desired Action, we have the 7 of Swords in reverse. This is about walking away from difficult conversations, difficult situations, and taking with you exactly what you need and letting the rest go. It's kind of cutting your losses, and it's capped off by the moon card in the outcome. So with 3 swords and the moon, what I'm going to say is it's really important for you this month to avoid altercations. 2 court cards, both of the same suit, it indicates for some of you, a marriage. For those of you that are married or have been in a long-term relationship, or this could also indicate a very long-term partnership or friendship, there may be a splitting of the ways this month, because Justice reversed and the moon in the outcome, it shows either an inability to overcome some below the surface issues, long-seated, deep-seated problems that you might be having, and just a need for some of you to say, I need time to step away. Whether this is a short-term separation or something more permanent, that's up to you. But I do think it's important this month to step away from anybody who you sort of feel like this is an uphill battle, and it's not a battle that I feel like facing. And I say that with extra attention being put on the environment, because if you can step away from that, there's so much you can do this month. The Magician card is a jack of all trades, and it is also a very enticing card. That's why you see a kind of flirty magician here. So you can use your energy that you've been spending in some of these other endeavors to really get people inspired and in awe of the other things that you're trying to do in your life. That's my advice, is to focus instead on people that are kind of both energetic and magnetic themselves, and also attracted to your own ability to be magnetic and energizing. And when we think of people like that in history, it can be like the late Steve Jobs, or celebrities that just seem to have this ability to walk in a room and command a presence. So know that sometimes it's almost like a reality warp that they can do, but you have that power this month. So don't underestimate the ability to get people interested, get people on your side, and use that to your advantage. Let's expand your forecast now and look at health, wealth, love, and destiny, beginning with health, which is mind, body, and spirit. Your message for health this month is working on the base chakra. When I pulled this card, it was actually in the reverse position, which can show some alignment issues for some of you in the spine. The root chakra is dealing with the base of your spine. It can also be dealing with the hips, the legs, anything really in the lower sort of extremities. And for some of you, it could also be dealing with maybe your hips being out of alignment or something going on with your posture. So take a look at that. This also has to do with some lower frequency emotions like fear or anxiety. And sometimes this is rooted in the past. I mean, it's in the root chakra. So you might want to evaluate some of the things that happened when you were a kid, or some things that you might be holding on to. As you release that part of your body is going to feel a sense of opening. And you can practice really connecting with the planet, either laying down on hardwood floors or getting outside and sitting against a tree, but really planting the root portion of your body against the earth, feeling a sense of grounding, and maybe sending some of the fear, the anxiety, or the uncertainty into the planet. Let it absorb it, and feel then that you are replacing that with a connection, a grounding, so that you don't have to carry it with you. Let Mother Earth take it, release it, and then focus on improving your perspective, your posture, and your vitality will follow in suit. Let's look now at your wealth card, which is not just about money, but also about opportunities in your life. See what the message is in that arena. So we have the Eagle King, and it says big picture, angelic help. So I see bird's eye view, obviously, when we're looking at an eagle, and an ability to also kind of like swoop in and fix certain things or deal with certain things. You don't have to worry about every sort of detail. This month is high level, big picture. Another sign this month, I was saying you had to go through things with a fine-tooth comb. Not so with you. I don't want you to kind of get so in the thicket that you have an inability to see what's going on around you. Also, when I see angelic help, of course that can be your guides and ascended masters, but it can also be a trusted mentor in your life. So with wealth, this could be going to someone who does help with like wealth management if you've come into money and you want to decide how to invest it. It could also be someone that could help you manage any sort of debts or other things that you're trying to pay off. So get some advice, do some research, do your homework, and try to get a holistic view of everything going on in your life, not just one aspect. Let's look now at your love, knowing that love is not just how you feel in a relationship with someone that you're married to, but it's also friendships and familial connections. So let's see what the advice is with love. Your love card this month is knowledge. So this is also a general theme for you this month, is to do your homework, understand where other people are coming from. And for those of you, it's connected. I mean, as I'm looking at this, it comes right after work. So for some of you that are interviewing for a job or trying to create some sort of a strategic alliance, this is really about understanding your audience. But I think that works for everything in your life. If you're trying to help a family member understand your point of view, in order to approach this with love and with light, you have to understand their perspective, their context, and kind of tailor it so that you're both on the same page. You're also going to just be learning this month. Anything that happens, including for some of you, separation, divorce, heartache, this is not a punishment. This is because you chose to kind of go through something, and you're going to come through this with more friends, more support, and I think many of you will be happier once you've released whatever that fear or anxiety was, because it showed up in the health area of your forecast. So just allow for this to be a learning experience. It's a lot easier to look at this several months later and understand that. So I will say this month, just be kind with yourself. Observe, absorb, and try not to beat yourself up too much, because as I was looking in the ego, some of you might be overly critical and it's not going to solve something. Let time reveal how much of a say you had in this, or how much you needed to do. You need some time to heal. You need some time to see things through, and then it's going to make a lot more sense. Now, as we look at your destiny card, this is not just simply where you're headed. It's how are you getting there, and is this path a trajectory that's beneficial? Your message this month is, it says, go forward fearlessly. So when you know what you want, when you have that razor focus, I want you to embrace it, and I want you to understand that that is a risk and a chance that's worth your investment, because it's a dream, it's an aspiration, it's a goal. So you can do it, you should do it, and this is really what the month is priming you up to do. To get rid of distractions, to get rid of relationships that might be weighing you down, to instead move towards alliances and friendships that are there for you. So before I get ahead of myself, let's go ahead and do a quick summary of everything, and then we'll wrap up. Your channeled information was to have that razor focus and to really push forward, knowing that there's nothing that should be standing in your way, and your outcome card was supporting that as well. When I looked at your catalyst, it was showing a period of growth. There may be some people that come and go, but the overall information and advice for this month is that it's all about growth, and you are going to move past whatever you're going through at the moment. I mentioned some of you might be in a relationship that's falling apart or moving apart. We have Page of Swords and we have Queen of Swords reversed and Justice reversed, and to me that's showing a parting of the ways. This also has to do with your internal dialogue with yourself. Try to frame it up in a more positive way. Looking at vitality, looking at intimacy in relationships, there's a need to balance that as well. Some of you are putting just way too much energy into work and into maybe other people in your life, because the Ten of Pentacles can also show family. And so perhaps your extended family or your parents or your siblings are asking for too much, and this is interrupting your happiness with friends and other people. So whether it's work or whether it's family, there needs to be more balance so that it doesn't interrupt the most important relationships in your life. There's a lot going on this month, and no matter who comes and goes, I think more opportunities are going to be opening up than closing. That includes love and friendships. So even if one or two people are stepping out, there's other people that are going to come in and fill that gap. As we already talked about the ego, I will say it's important for you to temper communication across the board this month. Practice good empathy. Focus instead on when you're positive, when you're in your happy space, you're also really attractive to other people. You bring them into your energy. That's what you want to focus on. That's where your power exists this month. Step away from unnecessary arguments and channel this moon card as a creative and intuitive card rather than something that is feeding into some of the potential arguments or lower frequencies. The moon can be something really, really powerful and creative. For some of you that are trying to get pregnant, this can indicate some challenges with fertility, so don't give up this month. Just know that it's probably not the best month for that kind of endeavor. Instead, working through difficult emotions and also opening up creativity and intuition, that's where I would focus it. Looking at your expanded forecast, starting with health, we talked about posture, we talked about maybe going to a chiropractor actually to help with alignment for your base chakra. When we're looking at wealth, it's about a high level view, big picture, not getting too much in the thicket. Also about asking for help from a mentor that you trust. For love, everything that you're going through is giving you more knowledge, but this is also about understanding who you're talking to, doing your homework and making sure that you're not speaking above or below that audience. And finally, when we're looking at your trajectory, your GPS this month, it says move forward fearlessly, which is right in line with what I was saying with your channeled information. I said push forward really at any cost. Don't let anything distract you. Use razor focus. So that is your monthly reading. I hope it gave you the insights you need to travel through this month with a sense of security and independence. That's really the point here every month. But if you ever have something coming up that I didn't have a chance to cover and you want to talk to me, look below the video. You'll see a few links. The first will allow you to book a reading with me, so you can check rates and availability if that's something you're interested in. If you'd like to say thank you and give back to the channel, I absolutely welcome that. As I said earlier, everything that I do here is viewer supported. I take time out of my schedule to do the videos, and I actually don't work on the days that I do that. So whatever you donate helps cover the cost, and it allows me to have more time for production. If you'd like to just say thank you in a different way, you can like this video, subscribe to this channel, opt into notifications, and also join me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and I also have a newsletter. So check out that third link and you can connect across all of these. I like to end with gratitude for the work that you're doing for yourself. This really is all about you at the end of the day. I'm showing up to help you to raise consciousness and also to raise the frequency of planet Earth and all of the humans here. We're all really in this together. We forget that sometimes. There's these artificial lines that we create of political alignment, color, race, religion, geographical boundaries. They're all illusions. We're all the same soul energy. The hierarchy doesn't really exist, and that's the secret that most of the world, especially those in power, don't want us to know. So what's important right now is that we work on ourselves, we get strong, we shine brightly so that other people can be inspired and less distracted by all of the chaos that goes on from day to day. This is a month where I want you especially to tune that out and tune into yourself. If each of us did that, this would be a better place. By you doing this and leading by example, you're going to show others how. So keep up the work that you're doing. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your journey, and thanks again for the patience this month. I'll get your December videos out extra early. Take care of yourself. I'll see you soon.